Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Our teachings of Sri Ramakrishna with some beautiful examples and stories and parables and anecdotes continues. In our previous reading, Sri Ramakrishna taught us about the realization, ultimate realization of the Brahman, and how one becomes silent after having that realization. Because he says Brahman as such cannot be described. Brahman is the only ultimate reality which cannot be described in words. That is only to be experienced. The great saints, the great sages, the ever-free souls, they had that the benefit of getting that ultimate realization. They had that ultimate opportunity, they had that ultimate blessing to get that realization of what Brahman is. But having got that realization, having experienced what Brahman is, even they could not describe what Brahman is, because Brahman cannot be described, Sri Ramakrishna says. The great sages like Shankaracharya, they realized Brahman, they reached that ultimate pinnacle of realization, but they came down in order to teach the ways and means and paths of having that realization. But what they experienced in that realization, they could never put it in words. They could never describe it. They described only the superficial aspects. Like the Vedas say, Brahman is Satchitananda. It is the ultimate knowledge, bliss, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. That is how Brahman is described by all these great sages and rishis and munis. Now, Sri Ramakrishna then gave an example of for these realized souls, that they do come down and they start talking about it, but that talking again, it comes down the moment they get to that stage of what they had experienced, and then they become silent. And then Sri Ramakrishna gave that example of converting butter into ghee. When we start making ghee out of butter, when we start heating butter, there is that splittering noise at the initial stages. As the moisture in butter starts getting evaporated, slowly that splittering noise comes down. That put noise comes down. And when it is pure ghee, pure clarified butter, there is no noise at all. Then there is no bubbling of the moisture from that butter. It is all peace, peace, peace. It is nothing but bliss. But again, the same ghee, Sri Ramakrishna says, you start using that ghee for frying some fritters, frying some samosas and bhajis and pakoras and bhajas. What happens? When you put something to fry in it, again it will start making that splittering noise till it is not cooked properly. Once it is cooked, no more noise. So Sri Ramakrishna gave some 2-3 examples of that sort, like water being filled in the empty pitcher. Till the pitcher is not full, it will keep on giving that bud sound, that water is going in, air is coming out. But once the pitcher is full, there is total silence. Once that realization of Brahman appears. But again, when these great souls, they come down from those higher planes to teach the devotees, to teach the seekers how to reach that path, they will talk for some time. And there that talk stops. Once, when that water is put in another jar, from one jar to another, it will make noise. But again, when that jar is full, there is no more noise, bubbling noise. So Sri Ramakrishna gave those examples, even the example of bee, that it keeps on humming, buzzing sound till it sits on a flower to sip honey. But while sipping that honey, while enjoying that honey, suddenly she will also again start making that humming noise. But that is just for a while. So that's what happens even with these realized souls. They may give us some ideas, some ways to get to that enlightenment, but that's it. What is that experience of knowing the Brahman that nobody has been able to put it? Now, Sri Ramakrishna further takes this particular teaching of these knowers of Brahman. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says that Brahman can be known through various paths. Now, normally the Jnanis who follow the path of knowledge, they follow the path of neti. That is what the rishis and the sages of yore, of the olden times, they use that path. I am not this, I am not this. Neti. This body is not the Brahman. They start negating the panchakoshas, the physical body, the sheaths that this body is comprised of. I'm not this physical body. I'm not this, the life force of the body. I'm not this mental force of the body. I'm not Annamay Kosh. I'm not Pranamay Kosh. I'm not Manomay Kosh. I'm not Vijnanamay Kosh. Anandamay Kosh. Even I'm beyond that. So that is how these Jnanis, they start analyzing, they start negating the things, and then they reach that ultimate path. But Sri Ramakrishna says in this Kali Yuga, it's extremely difficult to adopt that path. Why so? Because our body consciousness is so high. First of all, to negate the Annamay Kosh, to negate this physical body itself is highly impossible task in this Kali Yuga, Sri Ramakrishna says. We cannot just negate the body just like that. Our entire existence is based on the body consciousness. We cannot get rid of it. Saints, the sages of the olden times, they could do that. They could sit in meditation, in contemplation for not only hours together, days together, weeks together, months together, years together. They used to sit without any body consciousness. Once they took out their senses from the sense objects, once they had a disconnect of the senses with the sense objects, they could remain in that state. But we can't do it. Even on a day when we are fasting, our entire attention is towards our watch, that when is the time going to be the time that I have to break the fast. That is our condition in this Kali Yuga, Sri Ramakrishna says. So, that path is not for us. Better to begin path of love, Sri Ramakrishna says. So path of knowledge is for few, is for those few free souls, the Mukta Jivas and the Nitya Jivas, not for Mumukshus. But anyway, they don't tread that path at all. So Mumukshus cannot tread the path of Jnani as such. The Mukta and the Nitya Jivas, they can trade. Now Sri Ramakrishna says even the path of knowledge, there are two distinctions. One is a Jnani and one is a Vijnani. Sri Ramakrishna says Jnani, it is like climbing a roof through step by step, through using the stairs. The Jnani climbs the steps one after the other and reaches the roof of the house. He gets the knowledge. And while during this process, he keeps on negating each and every step. Like, is this step the roof? No, this is not the roof. Is this step the roof? No, this is not the roof. Likewise, stepping one after the other and negating all those things. Finally, he reaches the roof and then he says, oh, this is the roof. Those steps are not the roof. Those are the steps that take us to the roof. But roof is different. Steps are different. Neti. And Sri Ramakrishna says that another higher state from this Jnani is that of the Vijnani. Vijnani knows something much more, which Jnani can only reach the roof. Fine, he has reached the roof. But Vijnani, he knows something much higher than an ordinary Jnani. Vijnani knows that even the stairs which I have climbed to reach the roof is made up of the same materials, same brick, same lime, same brick dust, same cement, same mortar. The steps are also made of the same material as of the roof. And going on the roof, he knows that roof and steps are different. But he has that realization that even the steps are made of the same roof. The Vijnani has realized the Brahman, but he doesn't negate the existence of the Mithya, of the Jagat. The Vijnani says, Brahman is Satya, Jagat is also, because he knows that Brahman and the Jagat, they are made of the same material for that matter. The same Brahman pervades through all the entire creation. Whether these are the plants, whether these are the animals, whether they are animate objects, inanimate objects, movable, immovable, where they are saguna, they are nirguna, everything is filled up with Brahman. That is the knowledge, ultimate knowledge of the Vijnani. And therefore, Sri Ramakrishna says, in the heart of Vijnani, the element of love, it just sprouts. Because Vijnani has that realization, what is Brahman is also Jagat. What is the ultimate is also the universe. There is no difference. The Brahman is pervading the entire universe. So with this beautiful simile of the roof and the steps that the person has climbed on the roof, that they are made of the same material, Sri Ramakrishna has taught us this great teaching, that the Brahman, the same Brahman which cannot be described, is present there in this entire creation. That same Brahman is pervading this entire creation. And therefore, the Vijnani, if he loves Brahman, also loves Brahman's creation. Now in this creation, there may be good and bad, like Sri Ramakrishna had taught us earlier. There may be good and bad, there may be holy and unholy, there may be pure and impure, there may be a saint and a sinner, but everything is pervaded by Brahman. So that is Sri Ramakrishna's teaching. And he in fact further tells that having reached the roof, is that the end? Sri Ramakrishna says, no. How long can you stay on the roof? For other things, you have to come down again. So the great sages, the ever-free souls like Shankaracharya, they came down having reached the pinnacle and taught the different paths of reaching that same pinnacle to the devotees and disciples and coming generations. Sri Ramakrishna has given a beautiful example on this. He says, now Sri Ramakrishna was a wonderful singer also. In fact, Holy Mother Sri Sarda Devi used to say that the voice of Sri Ramakrishna was so golden that once you listen to song that Sri Ramakrishna sang, you could never forget it. That song would remember in your memory, will be there in your memory for all the time to come. That was the beautiful voice of Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Ramakrishna gives here an example of the musical notes. Sri Ramakrishna says, in musical notes there are sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. One is one on top of other. Now like ni is like the roof. You cannot remain on ni for a long time. He says you have to again come back. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. Sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. You have to come down. And then having come down from ni, you tell the beauty of all the 7 surs to the musical students, to those who enjoy listening to music. Then you explain to them. But what is that ultimate? That we cannot, that the realized souls also cannot describe. That is only to be realized. So this is how Sri Ramakrishna is now slowly taking the topic from knowledge to love. And that's what Sri Ramakrishna says, that having got that ultimate knowledge, the Vijnani, in the heart of Vijnani, love automatically gets sprouted. Because that is the realization that what is Brahman is also manifested, is also pervading this entire universe, this entire creation, all the beings in this universe, they are part and parcel of Brahman. So that universal love, that universal bonding, it starts taking shape. That me and my brethren, we are not different. Me and my neighbor. Let me love my neighbor like Jesus said. So that is how Sri Ramakrishna has taught this beautiful teaching of knowing the Brahman, coming down from that plane, and then talking about the ways to reach. That is today's teaching in this session. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.